So before we start, let's understand some notations. This means the symbol of intersection, which represents common part of any two sets. For example, if I take set A and B, then this portion represents A intersection B. Union. This symbol is union, and it represents combination of two sets. For example, A union B will be equal to everything in A, all the elements in A. So all the elements in A union B will be all the elements in A plus all the elements in B. But when you count all the elements in A and all the elements in B, this portion, which is A intersection B, is repeating twice, right? It's in A, complete A. It's in complete B. So you are adding it twice. So what we'll do is we subtract it once. Okay. So A union B is all the elements in A, all the elements in B minus A intersection B. The third symbol is complement. Let's say I say A complement. It means not A. Okay, it means not A. Everything in the set, everything in the universal set, but not A. For example, in this Venn diagram, if I have to represent not A, so I will shade only this portion. Because I can't shade any of these two spaces, right? Because this space means A and this space also means A, right? So it means not A. If I write it like this, it means not B. If I write it like this, it means not A union B. If I write it like this, it means not A intersection B. For example, if you have to represent this one on Venn diagram, so it will be like not A intersection B, means everything except A intersection B. We know that this part is A intersection B, so you have to shade only this portion. Okay, so these three symbols are important. Whenever we talk about union, we'll talk about or, the word or. And whenever we talk about intersection, we'll talk about and. For example, if I say A and B, right? For example, if I say there are 10 students who like both physics and chemistry. So basically, I'm talking about the intersection. I'm talking about something which is common in them. Okay, so this is and or symbols. Okay, now let's move to solve some questions. This is question number 1. It says, shade the region that represents A intersection B. We have just discussed it. So A intersection B is the common portion between A and B. Okay, so this will represent A intersection B. Now, if you have to shade the region which represents A union B, so what does A union B means? Everything in A, right? And everything in B. So you have to shade everything in A and everything in B. Okay. Next, shade the region that represents A complement intersection B complement. Now, this is where you have to use the tricks. If you find it difficult to imagine, what you can do is you can name the spaces. For example, I can say this is A, this is B, this is C, and this space is D. So what is A complement? A complement means not A. Not A means I can say not A means it can be C plus it can be D. If I say not B, B complement, it means not B means it can be A plus it can be D. Now look at the symbol. It says complement A intersection complement B. That means we have to find or we have to look for a space which is common between not A and not B. So we have to look for the region which is common in A complement and B complement. So if you clearly see the region which is common in A complement and B complement is region D. So intersection of not A and not B is going to be the outer region D. Okay, so this is how you can solve the questions easily. Now in this problem, it says A complement union B, right? So what is A complement? So A complement means, again, you name it A, B, C, and this is D. So not A. A complement means not A. So not A means, again, C plus D. And union B. So what is B? B means B plus C. Now, you have to do the union, right? So union means you have to add all the elements. So what you will get, you have to shade. If you do A union B, you will get C plus D plus B. Because this C is repeating twice, you will only add it once. Okay. So you have to shade the C portion. You have to shade the D portion. Right. And you have to shade the B portion. B is also there. Okay. This space you don't have to shade. Space A you don't have to shade. Okay. So this will be how you will solve this question. Now in this question, we got shade the region that represents A intersection B complement. So what is A? Again, A, B, C, and this is D. So what you will do? A is A plus B, and not B means A plus D. So A intersection not B means what is common between these two? We can clearly see that A is common between these two. So you will shade only A like this. Okay, that's done. Okay. Now let's use the same trick to solve these questions. So what we'll do is 40 students were surveyed. The first thing that I will do is I will just name them like A, B, C, and D. It says 40 students were surveyed. 20 have visited France. Okay, so 20 have visited France means A plus B should be 20 because this whole region, A plus B, is representing France. 15 have visited Spain. So what I will do is B plus C is 15. 10 visited both France and Spain. Okay, so this is B, which represents 10 because this is the common. You can see this end, right? 10 visited both France and Spain. That means they are talking about France intersection Spain. So B is 10. If B is 10, then C must be 5. And if B is 10, then A must be 10. So what we'll do is this will be 10. This will be 10 and C is 5. So what will be D? It says 40 students were surveyed, right? So A plus B plus C plus D should all be equals to 40. And 10 plus 10 plus 5, A, B, C, the values which is 25, right? So D will be 40 minus 25, which is 15. This will be your answer. In this question, out of 50 people surveyed, 30 have a brother. Again, we'll give the notation A, B, C, and D. And A plus B plus C plus D should be 50 because these are the total number of people who were surveyed. 30 have a brother. So you can say A plus B must be 30. 25 have a sister. So you can say that B plus C is equals to 25. And 6 have neither a brother nor a sister. Now, this is important. It says 6 have neither a brother nor a sister. So neither brother nor sister is represented by D portion, this outside portion, right? Neither brother nor sister. So D is 6. Now we have to solve this question. What we will do is, okay, so if D is 6, we can say that A plus B plus C plus 6 equals to 50 from equation 1, right? So A plus B plus C will be 44, right? And we know that A plus B is 30, right? This is 30 from this equation, right? B plus C, A plus B is 30. So it implies that C must be 44 minus 30 is 14, right? Then we know that B plus C is 25, okay? So A plus B plus C is 44, and I know that B plus C is 25. So I can clearly see that A is 44 minus 25, which is 19. Okay, so C is 14, A is 19. If C is 14 or A is 19, then it implies that B must be 30 minus, what is A? A is 19. So 30 minus 19 will give you 11, right? Now you can put all the values in the Venn diagram. So this is 19, this is 11, this is 14, and this is 6. Okay, it's very easy. In this problem, it is given that Shami asked 50 people which drinks they liked from tea, coffee, and milk. Okay, so we'll make this Venn diagram. Okay, and I will write, let's say, tea. So this circle representing tea, this circle representing coffee, and this circle representing milk. Okay, all 50 people like at least one of the drinks. Okay, so there will be nothing outside because it already mentioned that all 50 people like at least one of the drinks, right? So again, before starting solving this question, what we'll do is we'll name it, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And this outside is H, which is of course 0 because all 50 people like at least one of the drinks. So H is anyways 0. Now, 19 people like all 3 drinks. What does it mean? It means that G is, because This is the intersection of all three circles. So G is 19, right? And one more thing, 50 people which drinks, because there are total 50 people. So A plus B plus C plus D plus E, F plus G, and H is anyways 0. So that should be equals to 50. And that's your equation 1. Then from the second statement, it is clear that G is 19. Now, 16 people like tea and coffee. Now, this word is important, and it says 16 people like tea and coffee, but do not like milk. Now, tea, this is tea and coffee. So, and represents intersection and represents common, right? So, what is common between tea and coffee? The common between tea and coffee is D and G, right? Between tea and coffee, if you look at these two circles, the common is D and G, but it is already mentioned, do not like milk. That means it is saying D should be equals to, because if it is not given that uh, he doesn't like milk, then it will be D plus G should be 16. But as it is given that 16 people like tea and coffee, but do not like milk. So we'll say that D is 16. Okay, so D will be 16. Then 21 people like coffee and milk. Okay, so 21 people like coffee and milk. Again, and that means it is talking about the intersection of coffee and milk. So G plus E, this is the intersection. This portion is the intersection, right? So what are the spaces in the intersection G and E? So G plus E should be equals to 21. And you already know that G is 19. So 19 plus E is 21. It represents that E is 2. Okay, so E will be 2. Then what is given? 24 people like tea and milk. So tea and milk. 24 people like tea and, again and. That means they're talking about common. So G plus F should be 24. So G plus F should be 24. And you already know what G is. G is 19. So 19 plus F is 24. It means F is 5, right? F is 5. Okay, then it says 40 people like coffee. Okay, it says 40 people like coffee. It means B plus D plus G plus E should be 40, because coffee is combination of B, D, G, and E, right? So 40 people like coffee. Now, how many values you know? You know what is E? That's 2. You know G is 19. Do you know D? Yes, we know D. D is 16, right? And do we know B? No, we don't. So that's equals to 40. So it implies that B is equals to, now solve this. So 16 plus 19 plus 2 minus the 40 minus this, you will get B equals to 3. Okay, so B will be 3. So now I know B. What else? One person likes only milk. Okay, only milk means C is representing only milk. So C should be 1. I think you almost got all the values. Sami selects at random one of the 50 people. Work out the probability that this person likes tea. Okay, so let's now fill all the spaces first. So do we have the value of A? Do we have the value of A? No, we don't. So what we'll do is, what is the value of B you got? 3. So A plus 3 plus what is the value of C? 1. What is the value of D? 16. What is the value of E? 2. What is the value of F? 5. What is the value of G? 19. And that should be equals to 50 from equation 1. Now add them. What you will get? 3 plus 1, 4, 16, 20, 22, 22 plus 5 is 27, 27 plus 19 is 46. So it implies that A should be equals to 4, right? This will be 4. Okay, let me. So A should be 4, B should be 16, G should be 19, right? E should be 2, B should be 3, C should be 1, F should be 5. Yeah, I think all done, right? A, B, C, everything is done. Okay. Now there are Sami selects at random one of the 50 people. So if you have to calculate the probability, so probability of work out the probability that person likes T. So probability that person likes T is going to be, this will be 50. And so if you go to the T section, 4 plus 5 is 9. And then 16 plus 19, right? So 9 plus 16 plus 19 is 44. So that is going to be 44 by 50. If you simplify it, you will get 22 divided by 25. And that should be your answer. Sami asked 60 people which sports they liked from rugby, football, and cricket. Okay. So again, the first thing that I will do is, let's say this represents rugby, this football, and this cricket. Okay. Let me use capital C. Okay. And then I will give them the names, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and outside as H. Okay. Then 8 people like all 3 sports. So all 3 sports means G, right? So G should be equals to 8 as it is the intersection of all 3 circles. 17 people like rugby and football. Again, the and, that means they are talking about intersection. So 17 people like rugby and football. So rugby, football. What is the intersection? D plus G. So D plus G will be 17. Yeah, and one more thing at the start, we'll write A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F plus G plus H should be 60. Okay. So, okay. So, yeah, this information is also done. 17 people like rugby and football. Now, 13 people like football and cricket. Again, and. So, 13 people like football and cricket. That means G plus E should be G plus E should be 13. Okay, let's just solve them all together. G is 8, so D must be 9, right? So D must be 9, G must be 8, and G is 8, so E must be 5, right? So E must be 5. Then 19 people like rugby and cricket. So rugby and cricket is basically G plus F. So G plus F are 19 people. So G again is 8. It implies that F must be 11. 35 people like football. So F is 11. Then it says 35 people like football. So 35 people like football. That means B plus 9 plus 8 plus 5 should be equal to 35, right? Because B plus D plus G plus E represents how many like football, right? So if you solve it, you will get B equals to, now 9 plus 8 is 17, 17 plus 5 is 22. So 35 minus 22, so B is 30, right? So you write B as 30. Then it says 27 people like cricket. Again, the same thing. So 27 people like cricket means C plus F plus G plus E, or I'm just writing the values, that should be equals to 27, right? So C must be equals to 11 plus 8 is 19, 19 plus 5 is 24, and 27 minus 24 will give you 3. This value is 3, okay? And 30 people like rugby. So if 30 people like rugby, it means A plus 9, A plus 9 plus 8 plus 11 should be equals to how much? 30. So 9 plus 8 is 17 plus 11 is 28. So A must be 2, right? So A must be 2. Okay. So I think we have calculated all the values. Now, how many people liked neither rugby or football or cricket? Again, or means union. Or means union. So basically, they are talking about rugby, union, football, union cricket, complement, right? So neither rugby, nor football, nor cricket. That means they are talking about H. Like how many people didn't like all these 3 sports, right? So how you will calculate H? You know all the values, right? So what is A? 2 plus 13 plus 3 plus 9 plus 5 plus 11 plus 8 plus H equals to 60. It implies that H should be equals to, now you just add them all, 2 plus 13 plus 3 plus 9, 5, 11, 8, right? And minus 60. So you will get 9. This H is 9. Therefore, there are 9 people who neither like rugby, football, or cricket. So the value of this is 9, and that is your answer.